The new national security law imposed by Beijing on Hong Kong effectively prohibits freedom of speech, assembly, and the right to protest. Even holding a blank placard, standing inside a privately owned mall is deemed undermining the authority of the government and can be arrested and sentenced to 5 years to life in prison. This law is so expansively extraterritorial in scope that it is ridiculous. An American who criticized Dictator King Xi on American soil can be arrested while on a Cathay Pacific or Cathay Dragon flight that is not even destined for Hong Kong or China. As Americans know full well from WTO to the recent trade war with China, the Chinese would promise a lot on the negotiation table, but intentionally make their obligations vague when putting it in black and white. They would make the scope far-reaching and all-inclusive for other countries, while leaving a backdoor for themselves where they can violate any terms of the agreement at will. According to Article 38 of this security law, an American penning an editorial for a U.S. newspaper that argues for sanctions against China could well fall afoul of the law for inciting hatred against the Beijing government. It is asserting extra-territorial jurisdiction over every person on the planet, wrote Donald Clark, a law professor at George Washington University, noting that the national security law on Hong Kong is even more broad in scope than China's own draconian criminal law. Foreign corporations, media, outlets, non-governmental organizations, as well as international groups will now face very stringent regulation and censorship in Hong Kong. Just the deputy commissioner of the Hong Kong Commie Police can ask any foreign companies or organizations in Hong Kong for their trade records, bank transactions, emails, and other communications with any entities on the face of the earth in the name of protecting the regime of Dictator King Xi. And China can now extradite suspects to mainland China to face trial, destroying Hong Kong's autonomy and sweeping aside their judicial system. China can also waive trial by jury and deny public access to the trial if the case is deemed to contain sensitive information as determined by the Chinese regime. The national security law is in essence a total destruction of Hong Kong's legal and judicial system, said Victoria Wee, a political science professor at the University of Notre Dame.